Pray, you pray. We've heard the prophecies of God, what He was going to do here.
Yes.
And I feel like we prayed and we prayed again. But I'm at the place right now that I just believe we're at that cloud like in a man's hand moment.
Yes.
But God, I just feel like, sometimes we wonder we prayed and this didn't happen, we prayed. But I just feel in my spirit that we're at that precipice, that moment when the servant said, I don't know if it really means anything. It's not all that much, but I see a cloud likened unto a man's hand. It may not have meant all that much, but to Elijah who had been praying, that was the one little thing he was looking for. And in the spirit world, I've been getting some hints. I've been seeing some little vapors, little clouds, that God is just going to open doors. Revival is right here, and I want to challenge you, and I want to plead with you. I would ask that everybody get your shoulder to the wheel.
Yes.
Come on, everybody. Everybody. Hey, some of you remember one time, I don't know that anybody else is impressed with this little video clip as I am, but it's something about unity. I'm going to tell one of my, this just came to mind, I'm going to tell one of my dad's old jokes, and I'm going to come back and finish that, but it just occurred to me. Daddy used to tell Brother Gowan about this fellow, the folks got to noticing this pastor. Somebody observed that he would get up about 5:15 every morning, leave his house, and be gone about an hour and come back. And they got to discussing among themselves, wonder where pastor's going. And somebody, they got to kind of spying on him, a little bit of watching, maybe a neighbor across the street, and every day he'd get up about 5:15, he'd leave and he'd come back. And finally they approached him and said, we've noticed every day you get up. And this little joke, you get up and leave, you come back about an hour later. We just was wondering, where are you going? He said, well, about a mile down the road there's a place where the train stops and then it gets going again. And he said, I just like to go down there and see something that's that big that gets going without me having to push it all the time. So anyway, the video clip that I find so interesting, and I've shown it to you a couple of times, where the all those people that are part of I'm having a senior moment. Yeah, the Amish community, where they got that group of 200, 250 men. They picked up a metal building, looked like it was mighty near as big as this, but not quite, and just moved it across the pasture. Because all the way down the sides and end had human beings everywhere. And this crowd that we've got right here, we could go out there, there's an 18-wheeler trailer, and I'm convinced if every human being in this place was we could pick it up, push it, or move it with that much manpower. I believe we could, because there's something about that unity of everybody on board. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care how strong Brother Frakes is, smell's not everything, but anyway, Brother Frakes, Brother Guy and myself, we couldn't go out there. We probably couldn't shake that trailer. But all of us, we could. I know we could move it. Right. And in the spirit world, may I just tell you, if we can all get on board, if you don't presently have a routine prayer life where you've already carved out a spot for God, I beg you, as your spiritual leader, this is not, you might think, well, I guess so, Pastor, you're the preacher and you benefit, from pastoring a bigger church and you benefit, maybe your income, you might get a raise, if the church grows a little bit. Well, that's so, but I hope you don't think that's solely my motivation. I wouldn't mind any of that, but I hope that my spirit is pure and I really care about soul. But beyond that, it's not just me. If we break forth into revival, you know who all is blessed? All of us. All of us. If our children get plugged in and get on fire. Yes. Our neighbors, when we bring them, when they come here, hey, we don't want them. They can go all kind of places and see a church service that's just dead and dry.
That's right.
But we want them, when they walk through the doors of Christian Life Tabernacle, we want them to find that they come to a church where there's some fire. The fire of the Holy Ghost. Because, you know, some of us country people, years ago, if a fire truck come along, you know, it wasn't a lot went on in our communities when we were little. We might jump in the car and go follow a fire truck. But like my precious late father always said, ain't nobody jumped in the car and chased off after an ice truck. But when the fire truck comes by, we might chase off and see where the action is. I'm telling you, God is getting ready to do something. But everybody, if you're not praying, please don't just try to fit God in your day, but put God in there first and then try to fit the other things in your day. Make sure that you've got the time off there. And we're pushing and we're praying together. But we're about to see revival. Amen. Brother Justin and Sister Megan opened their home for a Bible study, and it was just this past Wednesday. I'm so excited about it. I got to see a picture of it and what's going on. And in the middle of that lesson, a Bible study student asked the question. So I gotta have the Holy Ghost on. I gotta speak in tongues. Yeah, you get to have the Holy Ghost. It's the best gift in the world. You get to. Thank God for the Holy Ghost. How many's got the Holy Ghost? Amen. So I didn't mean to take that long, but I want to plead with you. Make sure that we all have our shoulder to the wheel and that we're all pushing, because God's getting ready to do mighty things here. God is in progress. Let me ask this question before we dismiss and head to the kitchen. Will you tell me just a little more about can you show me some of the wood? It's displayed? Do we want to show, or you got them already displayed out there?
When they go out the door, they're all out there on the table. There's a 3-tier pumpkin, there's big house.
Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear my wife, but when you go right out here in the foyer, since we ran out of time yesterday, we just want you to be sure you know about that. It's a silent auction, and so you just go in there and write a bid of what you'd be willing to pay for that. And Sister Kristen has made some beautiful, beautiful pieces. She's very talented. So please stop by there and tell me, before we go, tell me the fundraising for this particular part goes to. Okay, so this stuff right here today, we purchased this new white tent and to pay for the bouncer, and the other fundraising you told me about was for the building supply, I think. Anyway, I've gotten confused again. There was some other part of a fundraiser you talked about earlier, and I've had a few minutes since then. All right. They're ready for us? Okay. Sister Elder Roberts, would you mind praying the blessing over this food, and we'll go eat some pancakes and fellowship.
God, we have been so blessed today. We're rich. We have the blessings, God, because you have abundantly been with us to meet our needs. And we thank you for the family fellowship that we've been able to have.